Welcome, everybody, to the JPDUB. What you just heard was The Sounds of Hell, a track off the new album by the band Midnight entitled Rebirth by Blasphemy, which is the record I'm currently holding for all you on YouTube watching right now. Check it out. Just came out on Metalblade Records. Very pumped for this record. And with me on the line right now is the man behind it all, Athenar from Midnight. What's going on, brother?
Hey, how's it going out there?
Oh, man.
Computer people.
Yeah, computer people. Computer gods. What was that? That was a Sabbath song, wasn't it?
Yeah, 1992.
Yeah, I like that record, man. I don't think it gets the love it really deserves.
No, that's one of the one of the best reunion comeback albums I think of all time, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I can't disagree with that. That and it was so weird for the time, man. I mean, I mean, we're talking Sabbath, so of course it's going to be heavy. But dude, that album was fucking just really heavy, with the exception of like, what was it? Was Time Machine on that one? Was that the Wayne's World song?
Yeah, that was the Time Machine. There was two versions of that. There was the Wayne's World version, and then the album version.
Oh
yeah, yeah, great record, man.
Hell yeah.
Saw him on that tour too with Danzig.
Oh no shit. Yeah, also a huge fan of Danzig here, man. You've had the chance to play with him, haven't you?
With Samhain, even better.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was cool. He was wanting us to play, do tours with them for a while, but I never wanted to do tour. Then finally they had to offer for the Samhain, and it was only 3 or 4 shows. So I was like, okay, that's good.
Yeah, fuck. Be satisfied with one fucking show with those guys, Oh,
it was great. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had the chance to see Danzig and the Misfits when they got back together, but Samhain, I missed them when they came around for Riot Fest. So shame on me.
All right.
Yeah. Speaking of Dio too, man, that's awesome. You caught him back in the day, man. It's another one I I fucking love Ronnie James Dio, man. Everything. I'm even going back to like Elf, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Really good shit, man. I think a lot of people also sleep on that. You know, they'll go with Rainbow or Sabbath, and of course Dio's solo shit. But man, all you people out there listening, get on some Elf.
Yeah. Yep. With his cousin, Dave Rock Feinstein in there.
Yep. Yeah, I missed them when they came back as Heaven and Hell. They were around here in Chicagoland, and man, dude, it sucks. But to know like how his voice still sounded great, even though he was, you know, battling that, what was it, throat cancer?
Yeah. I mean, it was, you know, Dio's one of those guys. You know, I saw ever since I was a kid. From the first time I saw him was Sacred Heart tour. No, I'm sorry, it was a Dream Evil tour.
Oh yeah, Dream Evil.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So every tour since then, and you know, whether he's with, you know, Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, whatever. But yeah, damn, it was great stuff.
Yeah, man, it was weird growing up. I'm 37, so when I was a little kid, you know, I got into metal pretty much because of Black Sabbath. I mean, I think a lot of people around my age did.
Yeah.
You know,
either Black Sabbath or Kiss.
Yeah.
That's the gateway drugs.
Right, the gateway to hell. But man, dude, I remember hearing Dio, and I liked some of the stuff, but as a kid, I couldn't grasp the Dio Sabbath thing. And then it, like, as I got to be like a teenager and, you know, out of high school and stuff, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was like, it's like the quote Butthead, whoa. Dude, it was one of those moments where I put on Heaven and Hell. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is like one of the best records to me of all time, you know, just out of any genre.
Going beyond that, not even one of the best records, one of the best things of all time.
Yeah, dude.
You know, one of the best things that exists in life.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. I still, that shit still gets me fucking pumped, man. Neon Nights and shit.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, dude.
Both those. I mean, if you put that and Mob Rules together, you know, as a double album, you know, it's untouchable.
Yeah, I don't think people saw that coming, man. Like, you know, in 1980, you know, Ozzy's gone, and then all of a sudden Ronnie James steps in, and I think he did the right thing, you know, by not, and I don't think it was ever his intent. You know, they weren't going to copy Ozzy or anything. They just became more powerful. They became, I think, their technical ability, they got a little bit faster, you know, a little bit more modern.
Yeah, a bit more aggressive. I mean, coming after Never Say Die, you know, you had some, I've loved that album. I love that and Technical Ecstasy, but I mean, you had, you know, little kind of fluffier tunes, you know, on those albums. Yeah. But, you know, and then to come out, just, you know, out of the gate with Neon Nights, like, yeah, okay.
Oh, dude. I fucking,
like you know, their announcement there.
Sonically, lyrically, that song just fucking, it owns my fucking soul, dude. I love that shit. It really does. R.I.P. Ronnie James, man. Motherfucker's missed, you know, but hey, he's back as a hologram, so maybe one day we can all be holograms.
Yeah. We'll probably be better off. We're all holograms.
Yeah. So I got acquainted with you guys. Actually, my band Handsome Prick, we shared a bill with you guys at Full Terror Assault. This was a couple years ago now, but
okay, yeah.
In Cave and Rock, Illinois, I had the opportunity. I was on the side of the stage when you guys were playing before I left with Johnny B to go drop some acid, and then it got even better. But man, it was a hell of a show. My shout out to my drummer, bandmate Brad Vanderzee of Handsome Prick and the Pink Machines. He introduced me to you guys, and I was blown away, dude. I think I have all your records now, but the first one I picked up was Sweet Death and Ecstasy. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, it's, to me, I mean, you're underground, but dude, you got what it takes in your band to like cross over. Like, I know there's the satanic theme and the sex theme, whatever, fuck all that, you know, I mean, to me, that shit doesn't matter, but the music, I mean, you guys got like a Venom Motorhead vibe kind of going. Dude, it's super fucking cool what you guys are doing, and I had to go in your back catalog and do a little bit of digging. I even checked out some of the Boulder stuff, which was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, yep.
Man, it's just, and you guys have been rocking Midnight now. Well, you yourself for what, since like 2003?
Yep.
You guys been going hard in the paint.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the perfect example of hard work paying off. I mean, you guys are on Metalblade now. I mean, we can go on for days about the fucking albums that they've released, you know, that probably influenced us and all that good shit, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So tell me, what's it feel like to have your new album out on Metal Blade? How did that come to be?
Well, it was, you know, they kind of approached me a couple of years ago about it, and then, but at the time, you know, that's what it always was since it started. It was kind of I wanted to keep everything very minimal on purpose. You know, that's why I didn't want to accept a lot of offers to do this, you know, to do that. You know, just kind of, you know, keep the records on Hell's Headbangers, just do, you know, fests here and there. You know, no big tours. But then at, you know, some certain point, I just said, well, okay, screw it. You know, put out 3 or 4 records or whatever the hell for Hell's Headbangers. You know, I've done all this stuff. Okay, it's 15 years down the line. All right, let's try Metalblade. You know, and like you said, I do like a couple of, you know, 1 or 2 of the records they've put out in the past. So, say that sarcastically, of course, but so, you know, why not let them, you know, take them up on their offer though. So, and so far so good. Hell
yeah. Well, you know, it doesn't hurt to have those guys behind you and promoting. And now, say you're saying you didn't want to tour and do all that. I kind of get where you're coming from. I've done a couple tours myself, and it's kind of a drag. I mean, it's fun, but you know, at the same time, I'm kind of like a introvert. Even though I do the fucking media shit and I play in the band and I talk to people, but I still don't fucking like them, which doesn't make sense. You figure that out, you know. But what was it about touring that kind of? I mean, you could correct me if I'm wrong. That was kind of putting you off.
What was it?
What is it about? What was it? I should say about touring like early on that you're like, I don't really want to do that.
Probably just my same thing. Just like my attitude in general of just not wanting to do anything. So,
yeah, I got you.
One of the things that it was something just not to do. You know, I was okay. Well, I don't want to leave the house. I just, you know, just do what I do here, and it was just kind of maybe like just doing something that I wasn't really comfortable doing, I guess. So finally figured out like, okay, that maybe I am comfortable doing it.
Right.
So it needs a kick in the ass to do it. You know, just like that first push off the side to jump in the pool. You know, then you find out, you realize you do know how to swim, and you know, it's fun. So
hell yeah. Quote some dock and go into the fire, right?
Yeah, there you go. Now we're talking.
Yeah. So, dude, I've seen a lot of videos and interviews with you on like YouTube and shit. Dude, you got quite the fucking metal collection, man. What was the first metal record you ever got?
You know, I guess it would start with Van Halen, 1984.
Nice.
And it just, of course, you know, one thing leads to another. You know, Van Halen turns into Bathory. You know.
Yeah.
A little sip of beer turns into a full-blown heroin habit. So that's kind of where it led.
Yeah, I feel the same way, man. It's a natural progression. Like for me as a kid growing up, I mean, being in the rock and roll and like, you know, old school hardcore punk. I had bands like Nirvana when I was a kid that opened me up to like Black Flag and the Meat Puppets and the Melvins and all that shit. And then it keeps going. And I think if you're really into the music, it's just this natural progression, you know. And then I started getting into like Cannibal Corpse and started getting a little more harder than that, and like Cryptopsy, which is like one of my favorite. To me, that's probably one of the best death metal albums ever recorded. Was None So Vile. But yeah, and then it leads into more shit like that. You know, you get into your grind. I found that because, hey, I love punk and I love death metal, and there's this genre out there that is like a amalgam of the two, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just great when you hit
that's what I was. That's kind of like that was the, I don't know, maybe the reasoning with this Metalblade thing is just the kind of to infiltrate the overground, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, and because the same thing, just like you're saying, there's some certain bands that just open up doors to get you into different stuff, and then, you know, maybe we're a type of that band that can come in from, you know, years of underground kind of stuff, and then maybe get some of these people who we never really knew too much underground stuff, or weren't into like Tank or old bands like that. But then they hear us, and then kind of dig deeper and discover some bands that they might not have listened to,
right?
You know, in the front. So
some Nasty Savage.
Yeah, of course, man. The first Nasty Savage, or the only Nasty Savage demo, I should say, is one of the best things ever, too.
Yeah, that's good, man. Like what you're saying, there hasn't been enough of that, especially in, you know, the rock guitar-driven music scene in quite some time, man. Like we're talking probably at least 20 years, because everything's just so damn fucking commercial, and it just makes me sick, man. Like
either just like really commercial, or just
not good,
thought out, planned.
Yeah.
Just fixed to perfection, or just already mapped out.
Yeah, there's no
in
danger
a way of like like standard Andy Sneak production or whatever it is, or you know, sampled drums and Kemper guitar amps or whatever the hell, and you know, just a lack of just putting a mic in front of a guitar amp and playing it, you know, and just playing drums and recording the drums and not sampling the drum.
Right. So, yeah. I mean, you're recording the records. I mean, this is all you. And I mean, I can relate as my drummer, Brad, he does the same thing with band, his side band Pink Machines. And it's like this amalgam of like grind and punk and rock and roll and blues and even some like pop, like things that shouldn't fucking go together. Like you should check him out sometime, dude. He just dropped a new record. I think he does an Alicia Keys cover, dude. But he grinds it up and it gets fast. But he's got the vocals, you know, the pipes, where he's getting that soul and shit too, man. It's very good. Cool. But so you do everything yourself. Take me through like the recording process real quick. When you go in the studio, you got a home studio, or you go out somewhere in Cleveland and record?
I've done the records. Just that I myself don't know how to record, like the engineering part of it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm totally dumb about that. But you know, the last record was with a dude here named Noah Buchanan, and then the ones before that was with Dave Johnson, and they're just with Dave. It was just in his basement, you know, and just go in there and record how you would, you know, you'd be bringing some drums and you just hum the song in your head and play the drum part. I mean, so once you have the drums, then record the guitar over top of it. You know, I think it's a pretty simple process.
Oh yeah.
You know, the main thing is just getting those drums in there the way you want them.
Right.
And just remembering how the song goes in your head. So.
Well, it's pretty tight too. I mean, I know of a lot of, like I mentioned, Brad, and then another one of my homies is Sean from Putrid Pile. It's pretty cool, the one-man gig, you know, but obviously to perform your music, I mean, you need band members, you know, and you've had, I'm assuming you've went through maybe a plethora of guys throughout the years. I mean, shit, you've been active for, what, 15 plus years now, something like that?
Yeah, I mean, not as many as you may think. I mean, there's only been, well, basically 2 drummers, but this past year we've had a couple guys fill in just for a couple of shows, because you know, the usual guy couldn't do it just because we did so many gigs.
Right. But
there's basically just been 2 drummers as far as the live stuff over all of the years, and then there's guitar players, maybe 1, 2, 3, you know, maybe 3 or so. So, but you know, this, you know, Vanek, you know, he's been playing with us since 2012, so it's been a while.
So he's got tenure.
Yeah.
So you can kind of tell other motherfuckers, like, hey, get your shit
gold watch soon.
Yeah. Nice, with a goat on it. Speaking of goats, man, I checked out that Metal Injection video where they fucking put you under the gun, made you write a song. What'd you have, like 2 hours to do it or some shit?
Yeah, that was fun. That was cool to do.
Yeah.
That was just like something. You know, they wanted to do some kind of a special or whatever the hell. You know, like usually it's like, you know,
a gimmick.
Go out drinking with some guy or whatever at the bar. Go record shopping with somebody or whatever the hell it is they want to do. Yeah. So I was like, well, why don't we just go into a recording studio and record a tune? You know, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, why the hell not?
Hell yeah.
So it was just go in there and just record a song, see what happens. You know, it wasn't anything like a test or anything.
Right.
It was just like, it was just something to
It's for fun.
yeah, it's something to do. So rather than do something else stupid, you could do something this stupid.
Yeah, and I think it's something unique too. I mean, it hasn't been done that I know of. Like it's like I say, it's a cool little gimmick, man. It was good for both parties involved. Sure, they got a hell of a lot of viewers out of it. You get exposure from it. Hopefully, more record sales and all that shit. And you got a new tune out of it. Are you gonna drop that on Bandcamp or anything?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, that's never been even discussed. I don't know.
Maybe a 7-inch.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. We should do something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's got to be a good buzz, after that. I mean, from what I saw, there was definitely a good buzz. Like, oh, check this shit out. It's like, yeah, I've seen it. It's pretty fucking awesome. Let me ask you this: what's out of all the records you've put out now, what would you say is your favorite?
They're all the babies, man. I mean, some of them may be a little, more challenged than others as the babies. They might have a bit of LD, learning disabilities, and others might be in prison and jail. And, but they're all the babies,
Right.
So it's hard to say. It's hard to pick them out as my favorite individual one. But yeah, I know it's a lame answer. That's not the answer you want to hear.
Hey, man, I just want to hear
a specific answer of the one, but I like them all, man. If I didn't like them, that would be that would just be something that I put out for a wrong reason. So,
yeah. Well, I like that too. Everything I've heard in interviews with you, I mean, it's all centered. Your music is centered around you, and that's what I think. You got fucking artist integrity. It needs to be that way. It's not this fucking manufactured molestation that you get with a lot of fucking, big rock or shit that's just heavily promoted out there.
That. Those are good lyrics there, man. Manufactured molestation.
There you go. But I like that you're kind of true to yourself. I mean, not kind of. I mean, you are, and it's more about what I gather from you is pleasing yourself with the music you want to hear, and it's like, fuck it. If people like it, they like it. If not, fuck them.
I think you have to. It's not like that's what it is. I mean, I think that's what most people are. That's at least that's what I think. I never really knew it as any other way.
Right. Well,
so if you don't like a song, then don't release it, or if you don't like the way it's coming out, don't record it.
Yeah. And I don't think it's like that a lot of days, like I said, with especially with huge labels behind some people, it's kind of like, hey, we have this fucking deal. We need this shit out. Let's put it out. Maybe fucking garbage, but whatever, like.
Yeah, no, that sucks. That's stupid.
Yeah. Well, the music industry, like I said, dude, it's dipped so much compared to like when we were younger. And it was like, I remember like kids growing up wanting to fucking pick up guitars and rock the fuck out and, dominate the world. Now it's just not like that. They just want to fucking get on their tablets and phones and think they're the best trap rap artists, whatever the fuck that even is. We're living in fucking weird times.
It's one instantaneous results of whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
I also like how your music. I mean, dude, it's simple. I mean, there's no bullshit to it. I mean, it's drum, bass, guitar, vocals, and there's no over technical shit going on there. And that really kind of reminds me too of like Misfits, early Misfits. Danzig's like, hey, we wanted to take it back to the simplicity of the music. Write some good fucking honest songs. And I think that really goes a long way. And dude, like with this new record, I like the last couple tracks are some of my favorite because I think it's a little bit more, I hate to say experimental, but it's, as opposed to like you're just regular like thrashy stuff. I mean, this has got, I love the bass, dude, on the last couple tracks, dude. It's great, man. I love the way it fucking punches through the mix, man.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that's there's a certain thing to that. I mean, you want to have some songs that just aren't just the standard, deep beat and thrash, whatever kind of fast stuff. So yeah, those last couple tunes maybe have a different tone to them, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, to me they definitely stand out. Rising Scum too, man. I really enjoy that. It's a lot slower. To me, it's almost got like a Samhain-esque like riff, like vibe to it, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that one's cool too. I mean, if a lot of stuff, if I told you where like some of the ideas would stem from or whatever, it would be just kind of laughable. So, I mean, that one, for example, if you listen to the intro of We Got the Big Beat or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Or by Billy Squire. It's the same exact thing. And that's what it is. So if you listen to Big Beat by Billy Squire, you'll hear Rising Scum.
Hell yeah. I like that, man. So for other than like I mean, obviously we all know you're a big metalhead and shit, but what's some of the other music stuff that you get into, man?
I mean, it's been all over since I was a kid, you know. So yeah, I was one of those, like a weirdo kid that was still listening to, you know, at the time I could listen to Creator or King Crimson,
yeah,
Bad Company. So it, you know, it was Hawkwind or something like that. Being a teenager and listening to like kind of strange stuff, John Coltrane. You know.
Nice, yeah.
So it was always all over the board, but it's always been through heavy metal ears, as Picture would say in the band. So,
right.
You know, listening to, always been like a metalist, but listen to just shit ton of different type of music, and that's what I think. That's what's, I don't know, just comes natural to me.
Hell yeah, we all love coming naturally, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. I mean, the diversity, and dude, I love that in people and artists, musicians, just anybody, dude. You got to be open. You can't be closed-minded. You know, I think it really affects people in some ways. You know, I mean, I'm much myself. I'm all over the place, dude. I'll fucking go. You know, I love you brought up John Coltrane. I played jazz guitar in my high school band. Really got into Frank Zappa a lot too, man. He was just a guy who was all over the place and like really didn't give a fuck what people thought. He made music for himself, you know, and created this fucking cult-like following in doing so, and so much fucking music, dude. You know, people talk about like Prince. Yeah, dude. I mean,
between Prince, Neil Young, Zappa. There's just so much, so many.
Speaking of, you mentioned King Crimson too. I think I heard that they're going out with Zappa's band on tour here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I think
they were just here last year.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the set list was pretty good. I mean, they did play a lot of stuff. It was mostly 70s stuff. You know, that they didn't really do much 80s things, or like I saw them once. I don't know when it was, in the 90s at some point. It was just all kind of new material at the time, and it was okay. But it was cool to hear those guys play and everything. But they weren't just playing songs I wanted to hear. You know,
right. So, you get into what kind of movies you watch? Like you horror dude, comedy?
A bit of both, I guess. I mean, the movies are still kind of like, I guess, my musical taste. It's still 70s and 80s. Mostly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it's still mostly music. I'm not like one of the huge. You know, I kind of just scrape the top of all genres. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not like a huge, guy that it's like 1,000 VHS stored away.
Yeah.
Obscure movies like that, but favorite. I think the favorite movies of all time, Caddyshack, Jerk, and The Ultimate Revenge. So
nice, some good picks right there. As far as horror goes, what would you say your favorite horror movie is?
As a kid, watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre left a big impact on me.
Yeah.
So that one was good. It's still, I think, Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Last House on the Left was a weird one to watch.
Oh yeah, especially as a kid, right? Jesus.
Yeah. Well, one that I saw as a kid that still stuck with me was Death Dream.
Okay.
And that was a weird one. Seeing that, I mean, it's probably not the best movie, but watching it as a kid, and just seeing the car go on fire and the dude being a zombie and stuff, coming back from Vietnam was pretty weird.
Right.
Just, visually stuck with me.
Yeah. And dude, going back to Chainsaw Massacre, I mean, that, and Last House on the Left too, I mean, that's just some raw shit, it's like, it's almost like you're not watching a movie. It's like watching something happen in real life. There's some real grit to that stuff, which is kind of lost nowadays.
Oh, yeah. I mean, those are some of, when my family got a VCR in the early 80s, probably like 82 or something like that, and 82, 83, somewhere. And the first movies that we had were Scarface, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and Caddyshack. So
there you go.
Those were the movies I just watched over and over again. So, like being a 10-year-old watching Scarface over and over, does a lot for you too, I think.
Yeah, influences your habits in adulthood, right? What a rush. Oh, shit. So you guys got some shows. You're coming out here in Chicagoland. I think, what is it, March 27th at the Empty Bottle?
Yeah, looking forward to it.
What's some of your favorite places to play, man? Like cities?
In Chicago? Oh, cities. I mean, again, same with the records released. I mean, as long as somebody's there to hear it, that I consider ourselves lucky that someone wants to be there to listen.
Right,
so
right.
that's cool. So I mean, it could be any city as far as I'm concerned. It's not really there to care about the city as much as I am to care about playing the music. So there's that. But I do like visiting places and eating the certain regional foods.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, Chicago's always good for Polish and Mexican. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. It's really dude. There's so much. It's this. The cultural diversity in Chicago is amazing. So to me, it's one of the best places for any type of food, man. I mean,
really cool.
Yeah, you want Chinese, you want fucking Vietnamese, you want Polish food. Of course,
there's a big Chinatown there too. Yeah.
Yeah, man, your deep dish pizza, Mexican food, man, even like Philly cheesesteaks and all that shit, dude. There's, man, you can get real fat in the fucking city. Well, brother, I'd like to thank you again for coming on the show, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. I wish you guys the best out on the road. Be safe, rock motherfucking people's socks off, yeah. And everybody out there listening, make sure you go to metalblade.com, or you can hit up Bandcamp or iTunes, Spotify, any of that shit, and pick yourself up a copy of the new Midnight album, Rebirth by Blasphemy. Pick up the whole fucking catalog while you're at it.
Yeah, why not? Go for it. Spend some of them bucks.
Spend some bucks, you fucks. Yeah, but do it, and do it well. And until next time, we gotta wet 'em up, wet 'em up. Wet 'em up! Oh my God, I'm so fucking wet for midnight.
You gonna do sex to me?